Hello everybody and welcome to Road Dirt. Today I'm going to put this screw into my rear tire. For years I've carried this stop and go tire plugger kit with me everywhere I've went. I've never had to use it because the only time I've got an object in my rear tire and it went flat was ironically right here in my garage. It made it easy to change out because I had access to my tools and it was easy to do. But here I'm going to try to plug it with this stop and go tire plug kit that I've carried in my bike for years and years but never used. Recently on a road trip to California, I was on a paved mountain trail, yes, with my VFR, which was totally out of place going up these dirt roads. And I thought, what if I get a flat tire here 25 miles from either end of the road in the middle of nowhere and I have to plug it flat? Well, now that this tire is down to the wear bars and it's time to replace it, I thought before I take it off, it would be a good time to try to plug it with this tire kit. So I'm going to put this drywall screw into my rear tire and see if I can plug it successfully only using the tools in my kit, not using my air compressor or any tools in my garage. Safety first. So to make it easy to find after I've plugged it, I've put the screw right next to the balance dot on my tire. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear it through the camera, but it's hissing already. The stop and go tire plugger kit comes with a rasp, a nozzle, a plugger, a probe tool, a bag of a bunch of different rubber plugs, and an Allen wrench. First, we're going to remove the debris from the tire. Which is not as easy as it seems. Since this puncture went right through the steel belts, the tire kit says to take this rasp tool and push it in and out to clean the steel belts out so they don't puncture the plug. So you take the rasp tool, kind of screw it into the tire like this, which is, again, not as easy as it seems. In fact, you can hear some of the steel belts popping as I push this in and out of the tire. All of this is to clean room. Oh, there's still some air left in this tire. This is designed to make room for the tire plugs that will come later. In fact, I did this before the tire is completely flat. You can still hear some of the air hissing out of it now. So if you weren't sure if this was a real puncture, it is now. This is the rubber-shaped plug that's going to go into the tire. We're going to load this rubber-shaped plug into the nozzle like this. Then going to push the mushroom-shaped tip down into the plugger tool so that the tops of the nozzle is just about flush with the end. So if you notice, the rubber plug is in there, but you can't see it sticking out from the tip. I'm going to install this nozzle inside the puncture of the tire. First, we need to load it onto the probe tool like this and screw it in. Then we insert the sharp end of the probe tool into the tire until the nozzle goes all the way into the tire like this. Then, once the nozzle is into the tire, unscrew the probe tool like this, leaving the nozzle inside the tire. Then, the plugger that has the rubber plug screws in to the nozzle like this. So now, I have the nozzle inside the tire and the plugger preloaded with one of these rubber plugs. To get the rubber plug in there, you take the Allen wrench and insert it into the back of the plugger and screw it in. So right now, this is screwing in the mushroom-shaped plug into my tire. And like I said, I've never done this before. Oh, this is getting a little harder and a little harder to turn. Oh, I felt it just get a little easier. There we go. So right now, hopefully the plug is inside the tire, and if I've done it right, I should see the tail end of the plug stuck in my tire. Ah, there it is right there. For some reason, I can't get the rest of this plugger tool out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice the stem of the mushroom right here, like that. So there we go, tire plug. So here's what it looks like from inside the tire. I happen to have another tire sitting in my garage that I was going to throw away anyways. So here's what the tire plug looks like from the tire point of view. As you screw the Allen wrench in, you can see it's forcing the head of the mushroom-sized plug into the tire. As you continue to turn the Allen wrench back out, you can see the plug head starting to emerge in the tire. Then, after you've got the Allen wrench turned all the way, then you can simply pull the nozzle out like this. So my tire's plugged, but now my tire is still flat and it doesn't have any air. Now I could just cheat and use the giant air compressor I have in my shop behind me, but like I said, I wanted to try this repair without using any tools in my garage. I've carried this slime tire inflator with me for years, and again, I've never used it. Now I bought this one off Amazon because it has a plug that goes directly into my battery tender outlet for my battery. So I'm going to plug this in, inflate it, and see how it works. So there you have it, how to use the tire plug kit and the tools you carry with you to inflate your tire in an emergency. So now that I've had it inflated for a while, I put some soapy water right there where I did my plug. So far, not a single bubble. So obviously this tire plug kit would work to get you where you're going to go. But I've always thought, how long would it really last? I mean, what if you're 50 or 100 miles from the next spare tire? Would it last 50 miles? Would it last 100? How long would it really last? So I want to kind of torture test this, but I don't have time to ride 1,000 miles, which means in order to put a lot of torture on this tire quickly, burnouts. So it's day 2 after doing our tire plug. I let it sit overnight just to see if any PSI let out. It was 38 PSI when I plugged it yesterday, and this morning, still at 38 PSI. Now the directions say not to exceed 50 miles an hour, but I've already exceeded that coming up here, so it's done fine so far. But to accelerate the wear and see how long it lasts, well, time to do some burnouts and see what happens. Well, as luck would have it, there's our plug right at the back edge of the tire. Ooh, that's hot. Still hasn't leaked. So if you haven't got a tire plugger kit yet, and it'll stand up to this abuse, I suggest you get one. This is Ted Edwards with Road Dirt. See us for Ride Life.